Page 121. Ruby. Uncle Bob! Ruby races over. Grump, grump, across the broad field that's part of the elephant domain. She's so cute when she runs. She's determined not to trip on her trunk. Ruby adores me. I make her laugh. I read the room. I lighten the mood. I gotta admit, I am kind of adorable. When I'm with Ivan, I think, pal, we've been through a lot. You and me, we are survivors. When I think of little Ruby, I think, girl, look at you. Hard luck passed, and here you are, so much happier, so loved. Ruby, like Ivan, was plucked from Africa as a baby. She ended up in the circus that went bankrupt, then got shipped off to Max Mall. Ruby was taken in by dear old Stella. When Stella passed away, Ivan stepped in to play. Well, elephant dad, I guess. I did my part too, not because I felt like I had to. It made life easier. Elephant toddlers are a handful. You think humans are bad? Try putting a 200-pound baby elephant in timeout. Ruby's family. Little Ruby seems so much more content in the park, surrounded by her new herd, old and young and in between. They spoil that adorable little one like you wouldn't believe. She deserves every minute of it. Kid had a rough start. Seems elephants hang out in packs of females. Now that she's at the park, Ruby has adoptive sisters and aunts and grandmothers galore. In the wild, the elephant guys head off once they're old enough and do their own thing. Sometimes I lose track of who's who among the elephants because they're always taking mud baths, scrambling their smells. By the way, what kind of animal actually likes baths? Mud, I'm sure. Ivan's art. How's it going, girl? I call to Ruby as she stops near the moat edging the wall. I had cantaloupe for breakfast, Uncle Bob, and it was yummy. And then I took a mud bath. She pauses to take a breath. Do you want to hear a new dog riddle, Uncle Bob? Of course I do, I say. I catch Ivan's amused glance. What kind of dog is always on time? Asked Ruby. You got me, Ruby. I'm really baffled. I'm baffled, bewildered. What kind of dog? A watchdog, Ruby exclaims. Watchdog, get it, Uncle Bob? Not bad, Ruby. Not bad at all, I say. Ivan says it's going to rain buckets, says Ruby. She dips her trunk in the moat and blows bubbles. I think Ivan is onto something here. Did he show you his new picture? Ruby asks. She grabs a tuft of grass and tosses it in the air. I wish I could see it, but I can't because of that silly wall. But he told me about it. My pal Ivan is quite the artist, just like Julia. Ivan sits up and nods towards a spot on the wall. Another mud mural, I ask. Any good dog, any good dog knows dirt plus water equals mud, and mud means mess, and mess means let's roll in this stuff and maybe dig a hole or two or 10. But for Ivan, mud plus a flat surface equals a writing canvas. I crank my neck, edging a bit further down the top of the wall. Don't want to draw attention to myself. Hey, nice, I say. I mean, I'm not an art guy. To me, art is a glob of sprayed cheese on a cheese dog with extra grated cheese on top. Still, I've always admired Ivan's work. It's, Ivan begins. No, I say, don't tell me, let me guess. You always guess wrong, Ivan says. Not always. You thought my palm tree was a dandelion. Art is in the eye of the beholder, I say. You thought my blackberries were giant ants. Kinyani ambles up to join the conversation. And need I remind you that though this portrait of me was a chimpanzee with gas, the resemblance was striking, I say. Kiani glares at me. She glares a lot. On the subject of chimps. Probably I shouldn't have mentioned a chimp angle. Gorillas aren't as open-minded as dogs. A lot of them have a thing about chips. They're They think they're clowns, but when I look at apes and gorillas, it seems to me they have a lot more in common than they admit to. Dogs aren't perfect, but I'll tell you one thing, where we rule tolerance. For us, a dog is a dog is a dog. I see a Great Dane, I say howdy. Run into a puggle, it's glad to meet you. How's it going? Smelled any good pee lately? Go to a dog park, you'll see. We are equal opportunity playful. You sniff my rear, I sniff yours. You don't see that with humans, obviously. Constantly seeing differences where none exist. All those things, like skin color, dogs could care less. You think I won't hang with a Dalmatian because he's spotted or a Shar-Pei because he's wrinkled? I'm not saying I love every dog I meet. Snicker comes to mind. But I'll always give a dog the benefit of the doubt. Life is short, play is good, and there are plenty of tennis balls to go around. A very handsome dog. Hi, Aunt Kiani, Ruby calls. Once again, Ruby says, Kiani, I'm not your aunt. I'm a primate, and you, my dear, are not. More's the pity. But if Ivan is my uncle and you have to be my aunt, Ruby declares. Ahem, says Ivan, pointing to the wall. My painting, Bob? I consider it looks like a dog. Ruby flaps her ears. I can tell she's trying hard not to stay quiet. A very handsome dog, I add. Is it? Is it? Ruby exclaims. Is it you, Uncle Bob? Uncle Ivan told me. But who's that? I ask, pointing to another set of mud strokes. I thought you needed a companion, said Ivan. I know it must get lonely at home all by yourself. It's true. I've never mentioned it to Ivan. Guy's like a mind reader. I think Snickers and Bob would make a cute couple, says Ruby. I blink in disbelief. Bite your trunk. Ruby starts to reply, but her voice is drowned out by a sharp clap of thunder. Storm's getting close, said Kiani. Ivan, dear, come on. You know how you hate the damp. It's true. He carries around his old burlap bags so he won't have to sit on the wet grass. Ivan looks at me sheepishly. She knows me so well. Kudzu, one of the one of the baby gorillas, bounds over and leaps onto Ivan's back. Loves all the youngsters, but Kudzu is his favorite. I think she reminds him of his twin sister, Tag, who died when she was still a baby. Ride, Kazoo commands. Julia appears, her backpack at the ready. Bob, she calls, we need to get going. Ride, now, Kazoo repeats, yanking on one of Ivan's ears. Looks like it's time to go, says Ivan. Good to see you, buddy. Stay dry, okay? Will do, big guy. I turn to Kiani, enchanted as always, my dear. A trumpeting noise cuts through the air. Uh-oh, says Ruby. That's Aunt Achilleo. Achilleo, the oldest of the elephant ants, lumbers over. Come on, Ruby, weather's getting bad. Just one more minute, Ruby pleads. Now. But I need to tell Uncle Bob one more riddle. Now, she repeats. Nobody ever listens to the littlest elephant, Ruby complains. You can tell me the riddle next time, kiddo, I say, winking at her. Ruby brightens. Okay, gotcha. Gotta go, or I'll be in big trouble. Love you, Uncle Bob. See you later, Uncle Ivan and Aunt Kiani. I'm not your... Kiani begins, but Ruby is already galloping back to her herd.